On radio, online, and on the ABC Listen app.
Well, there was no sport really to speak of, was there, during the pandemic? We had a lot of time in our hands, and a fair few of us picked up the old controller for video games. It's the way that a lot of people got through their lockdowns and whatnot. And one of those people was Ollie. Ollie, you actually bought a console to get yourself through the pandemic, didn't you?
Yeah. And I was one of many people who were scrambling when I was living in Mackay to buy a PS4. And there was, when I bought mine, the guy had 50 or so other people trying to buy it at the same time. Yeah, it was really hard to get hold of second-hand ones because everyone was scrambling to get into video games. And so that kind of got me delving down the rabbit hole again of video games that I haven't played since I was a teenager. But yeah, it was really fun. And you can see how it has become, like, esports have burgeoned, that there is so much skill to it. I noticed after not having played in 10 years or so, I really suck.
Yeah. Oh, well, of course, but there have also been other people who have really taken, not just waiting in line to get a console, but they're building their own.
Yeah, and so this is where you kind of the pandemic impact comes in as well. So we're seeing not only shortages in some of the major video game consoles, but also in the elements that make gaming PCs. And so gaming PCs are what you kind of need to play these like top level video games. So I was kind of digging around and having some chats with some experts to find out a little bit more about what these shortages are like and what you can do as an end user. And I just thought it'd be good to kind of give our listeners a bit of an explainer on what a gaming PC is. So Stephen Thomasy from Amigo Technology joins us this morning to kind of give us a bit of an explainer through on how a gaming PC, to explain how you can put together and things like that. Stephen, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me on the show.
No, it's all good. Mate, before we delve into the kind of work you guys have done in putting together some really interesting, kooky kind of gaming PCs, can you explain to people who are, scratching their heads a little bit, what is a gaming PC and what makes it different from the computers that I'm sitting in front of right now and that most people who work in offices sit in front of?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, a gaming PC is really just a standard, even an office PC can be turned into a gaming PC, but it has to have good graphics performance. So essentially, you'll need a computer that has good CPU performance or processing performance, which you can have in a normal office computer, but it also has that capability of driving many, many high-definition frames through a graphics processor as well. So now, generally speaking, when someone says gaming PC, they think of maybe something that's like flashy and blingy and has all these crazy lights. And yeah, a lot of enthusiasts do love, doing the aesthetic side of things as well. But, like I say, a gaming PC is really what you make of it. If you just want to play some basic games, you can do that on an office PC if you just put in a cheap graphics card. But it all comes down to what you want to do on it.
Is it the kind of thing that if you want to be competitive in esports, you need to have a high-end gaming console? Is that a PC? Is that the case?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and esports is something that's really taking off at the moment, especially since a lot of the parts of the world can't do regular sports. And, there's still that competitive itch that people have. And I've seen heaps of people get into a lot of the hot esport titles like Counter-Strike and Valorant. And you absolutely need to be using a PC that is capable of just being incredibly smooth and fast. Otherwise, you actually put yourself at a significant disadvantage. It's like, having a sore foot in a running race. You're just not going to be able to compete with the top dogs if you don't have a PC that's capable of running it super smoothly.
But this is one of those things that you were telling me last time I was speaking, that a lot of the gaming stuff that you buy when they say, oh, this is a gaming specific piece of componentry, it's bright, it's colorful, they have, a lot of, like neon lights and things on them, but they don't necessarily have to have those things to perform well.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Contrary to popular belief, you don't actually need fancy lights for a gaming PC to be any good. In fact, sometimes it makes it worse, because if you've got a budget of $1,000 and you spend $200 on lighting, well, you could have spent an extra $200 on a better processor. So, everyone each to their own, but my gaming PC looks like an office PC. because it basically is. I didn't bother spending any money on lights.
So it's a good word to parents or grandparents who may be getting pressured to buying things that you don't have to buy the flashy light things. You can buy something that maybe looks a bit cheaper but still has all the performance capabilities. Yeah, that's true. And I mean, you think about it like a race car. If you want to go fast around a track, you don't have to have a beautiful interior and a really, really nice paint job. You can have a kind of knackered looking exterior, and hey, as long as it goes quick and you can win games, that's all that matters. Now, just quickly, Stephen, we're running out of time, but can you tell us what you've been doing with old server parts because of the shortages from the pandemic? Great question. Yeah, and obviously shortages are hitting pretty much every industry. So a little known secret, there are companies like Google, Microsoft, Facebook that are selling off old servers, and there is a huge supply of old server processors. And what we've been doing at Amigo Technology is using a lot of these processors in gaming PCs. We can get the same level of performance as the parts that you cannot buy at basically half the price. It's pretty phenomenal. But you sort of have to know what you're looking for. And if you're looking to build your own, you definitely got to either have a friend who really knows what they're doing, or be involved in communities that can help you out to put together kind of these server Frankenstein gaming PCs. But it's a lot of fun, and you can get some really great value out of it. Stephen Domessi, thank you so much from Amigo Technology. Great to have a chat with you, and so interesting to learn about these gaming PCs and the cheap server style. Yeah, I'm glad to be on the show and happy to help.